Hello.
Hey,
Can everyone hear me?
yes.
I know people have popped in, so I didn't get a chance to do a sound check, so hopefully everybody's good. Welcome to Bridging the Gap. I am Kelly, and I would like to introduce the show, the cast today. And then I also like to give you a chance to introduce yourselves. So I'm Kelly. I have Lapeef Jr. Everyone knows who he is, so we'll just skip right over him onto Coach K. I have Sayeda Barnabas and Raul Duke. So feel free to introduce yourself, Coach K. I'll have you up first. Really? You just switch it?
Sure.
Like, go ahead.
No problem. Hello, my name is Coach K, or you can call me Katie. I am a coach for teens and young adults. Love all things relationships. It's my jam. But basically, I just teach.
My jam.
It is. I just teach young people how to be resilient mentally and emotionally. And you can find me at www.coachkr.com.
Awesome. Raul Duke, since you're now at the top, you may go next.
My name is Raul Duke. I also enjoy the company of young adults. I am a world famous editorial cartoonist. I write under the name Jane Doe. I'm also a gold medalist in, discus throw, and I'm just happy to be here.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I'll go to you, Barnabas, because Sayeda still came down.
Yeah, I'm Barnabas Jams. I have a channel where I talk about music and I play in a dad band. And I just have fun with music. So, like, share, and subscribe, Barnabas Jams. And Kelly gave me the call, and I love being here. I don't know how I ended up here, really, but I sure do like it. So thanks for having me, Kelly.
Well, I enjoy your perspectives. That's why I call you.
Thanks.
Sayeda, did you want to introduce yourself, or are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I was having issues with my audio. And turning the camera. So hi, everybody. Yes, my name is Saida, and I've done a lot of things. I'm also a teacher, but I don't work as a teacher no more. I actually work with tourists. I do have a tourism business in my country, so that's what I'm doing. I'm a mother of a 10-year-old.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Are you there, Lapeef Jr.?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Lapeef Jr. I just started a YouTube channel about a couple months ago. And I look forward to this discussion. Appreciate you for having me. It's always an honor. I've seen you on many panels before, and I look up to you guys. So I'm glad to be here and say thank you.
Oh no, it's a real pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining. I know it's your first time, YouTubing on a large platform like this, but welcome. And
Yeah, who is this random guy?
If you need any pointers, just let me know.
Now we have two liars on the panel.
I know. So I was like, this must be the liar panel. All liars must drop to the bottom. Here we go.
Well, I'm not a liar. Get me out of the bottom.
Oh, come on.
No, now we're Brady Bunch. The girls at the top and the gentleman at the bottom.
Come on.
All right. As you all know, I like to always start the show with an icebreaker. So I will ask the question. I would like everyone to give their response. And we're not going to go long tonight. I know I usually keep you guys pretty long, but it'll be a short show. And it's not for the reason that you said in this private chat, Raul Duke. Yeah, I saw what you wrote. Mm-hmm. Don't look at it, Sayed. It's very rude. Okay, so icebreaker question. You have married the love of your life, because we all know that today's episode is called For Better or For Worse, right? So icebreaker goes. You have married the love of your life, and you two are living the perfect, blissful, happy love life. The dream, the story, right? Everything you see on the movies. A few years into it, you get a call. You rush to the hospital and find out that they have had a stroke that paralyzes half of their body. Do you remain by their side?
That's a rotten question. Come on.
This is a real thing.
That's rotten. I mean, that's not even fair. I mean, who's going to say no? I'm going to leave him. I'm going to leave him in half of his functioning body.
I know a lot of people that they say they'll stay, but will they really stay through the hard times? is for
I
better or for worse. So that's the
I
question.
hope I never have to go through that. My God. I mean, honestly, the end of life, dying is awful. And that's the problem with getting married, falling in love is someone has to die, and it's so awful. Like you just can't win. You just can't win. You just have to die at some point, and maybe it's slow and horrible, and maybe even worse, the one you love the most.
And I hate it when the happy couples, like, why is it when you're the happiest you lose someone? Why isn't it the couples that can't stand each other and then they're like, oh, now I'm happy,
Right?
it's gone. It's never that.
I know.
It's always
I wish it worked that way.
it's always the couples that I'm so happy and I lost. I'll never love again. It's like that. So
I think that's survival bias. I think there are plenty of people that are unhappy and their spouse dies and they're like, fuck yes. You just don't hear about it. That's just correlation doesn't equal causation. You know what I mean? There's plenty of that. You just don't hear those stories because they don't tug at your hearts.
Or
You
they're
hear
behind
them
it.
Yeah. I'm sure it definitely happens. Or the wife just kills him. You know,
Snap.
I don't know. He fell asleep in his bed and didn't wake up. Who knows?
oh my God, we're going there.
You know what happens.
Just a little
It's
arsenic
not
and
like God strikes down the happy people. Come on.
No, but I feel like you're right, Kelly. There's people that will say they will stay, but until like things happen, because I actually personally know a story of a childhood friend who got into a really bad accident, and he got like into a coma. So the lady, it was his partner, not his wife, but it was the partner. She just went and throw him literally to his mother's house, back into, okay, go back to your family. And as soon as he got out of the hospital, and she's receiving some type of pension or something like that he had her on. So
the wife is
she's not married to him, but in El Salvador there is a way, if you put it in your health insurance, that person is going to be the beneficiary, kind of. So we decide who the beneficiary is. So that that lady's just getting some benefit from it, and
so she's getting the benefit, but she's not taking care of him.
Taking care of him. Yeah. So I agree with you that there's people who actually do things like that. And I think that when the difficult part is like, probably taking care of your partner, you're there for them. But when problems starts adding up, like that person is no longer working, that person is not providing, now I have to go to work, now who's going to take care of the kids, and there's a lot of burden on your shoulders. I mean, it's obviously that the situation gets more difficult, and you still have biological physical needs. I'm not saying this is right to do, okay? I'm not condoning this behavior. I'm just saying that it's understandable that some people will actually just not be strong enough and forget about the vows and all these things of the reason why you should be or remain with that person. So I agree that there's people that do say for better for worse, but they don't actually follow it once the bad part hits.
And that is why I wanted to have the conversation. Go right ahead, Coach K.
I would absolutely stay and do all the things, that I would have to do.
And I use stroke as an example. Like there are things that can happen. You can find out they have terminal cancer, and they have an expiration date that you're aware of. 3 months they're going to be gone. They could get paralyzed. They could get burned in a fire. But a lot of people won't stay through those for worse times. So you can use whatever scenario you want. It doesn't have to be a stroke. Would you remain by their side? Would you help them wash every day? Would you help them get dressed every day?
For sure. It's kind of like
look at Raul's face.
It reminds me though of people who, I mean, not to minimize this down to like pets, but it's like kind of like when people get pets, and I hate these kind of people. I hate these kinds of people, and I don't use the word hate often, but they don't, prepare to have them forever. So if something gets, like you'll see dogs, being up for sale or free to a home on Facebook because it's difficult. And it's like, then you shouldn't have gotten one. You shouldn't have gotten married if you're not going to abide by your vows. It's like or vows or anything. It doesn't mean anything to people, it seems like.
And is there 3 people on the panel that are married, have been married?
Yeah, I'm divorced, so I guess I didn't go through my vows, but
no, we're gonna get to that.
Okay.
No, we're gonna get to that. I have further questions. Because it says for better, for worse, in sickness and in health, till death do us part.
Yeah, so I guess I lied, right? Because I got divorced. Oops. But I would like to think that, geez, I would take care of someone. I mean, hopefully, again, I never have to find out.
Well,
I don't know how you could leave someone you truly love, just like deuces, see ya.
at that time.
Well, I've seen both sides of it because my parents were married for 38 years before my father passed away. He died at 64. But when he turned 52, he had a stroke. And that's why I use this as an example, because that actually happened. He was 52 and it paralyzed the whole left side of his body. So my mom had to quit her job and it went from him being the sole breadwinner because she never worked. She went from she had like a part-time job like for her mad money, but he went from the provider of everything to not being able to provide for the family anymore. So she had to become his nurse, his transportation specialist, like everything. She had to help him clean himself until he could learn how to do it on his own through physical therapy.
Yeah.
It was a lot. It changed our lives as a family. So.
And moods can be really different too. Like strokes can affect people differently, I know, but was his mood different at all?
Yes, it affects your brain. We used to call him, we said he had no filter after that. Before, like you would think before you would speak, like, no, this is not the right thing to say in this moment.
Yeah.
But after that, he was just like, you're ugly.
Right,
Dad, that was so hard.
Right.
Like, he lost his filter, guys. Sorry. Don't mind him.
Right.
But it can change the way you think and how you, but yeah. So everybody, so in my scenario, would you say?
You've been through it. You've been through it. That's
yeah, but again, it's my father.
Yeah.
I think my father is different than a spouse because
yes,
well,
it's my dad. I'm not going anywhere. But a guy that I'm expecting to care for me because they're the provider protector. He can no longer protect me. He can no longer do the things that he had to do to provide. So now it's like now I'm like your mom. I'm your nurse. I'm your caretaker every day. So it's a complete role reversal. That would be.
You're saying that your answer would be negative, that you would walk?
No. If I love the person, I'm gonna clean his butt and wheel him in.
Wow, I wasn't going there. I was okay.
If I love but that's the thing. Like, why are you really marrying a person? If I don't love you and I'm there for the money, why would I stay? But if you truly love a person,
you're just there for the money. You walk, you take your half, and you go. But if you're actually like emotionally connected to this person, most people can't walk. You can't physically do it. It's when your emotional connection severs that you start considering these options. But whenever you have that pull, you can't, right? They're right there. You can see them. You can't. And so I agree with most of the panel. If you're incredibly emotionally involved, you're in love with them, yes. But plenty of people get married for other reasons beside love, which we'll get into later. And those people, of course, could walk, right? But if you look at them and you're like, I love this motherfucker, you're not going to walk because you couldn't live with yourself afterwards. I mean, what's the fucking point? You feel like shit every day for the rest of your life. Why would you exist that way? And so I think it's the amount of emotional connection you have is the answer to your question. Strong emotional attachment, I'm there, baby. If she was just a trophy wife, sugar mama, on to the next one. That's pretty much how it is.
People think about that before they pop the question? I mean, because those are vows you say, but do you actually think people consider that? Like,
I figured that was what we were going to get into. There are many different types of marriage. Not everyone marries for love. Okay? Don't forget, it's a financial, legal arrangement. There's plenty of people that see it that way. So there's different types of marriages. Those different types of marriages will dictate how you behave. I'm sorry.
This is
no. I said, go ahead. Let's get into that.
That's why I thought you were going with your questions. So I'm letting you leave.
I'm going in so many different directions.
That's pretty much the Kelly I know. Yes, I know. You're going to go in 5 directions at once. That's fine.
But why not? Kelly, if I could ask, what did he regain? As far as
my father?
Yeah. before he died? I mean,
So
is
when
like his
he when
deficits
he
improved or?
when he had a stroke, I remember because I'll just go into a quick story and try not to cry. I remember because I was actually living in another state and I was 9 months pregnant. I think I was gonna be due in like 3 weeks, and
Mm.
my mom didn't want to tell me because she was like, I don't want to stress you. And I was like, Mom, what's going on? I know something's wrong with Dad. He didn't call me. She's like, oh no, he's too busy. I was like, no, Dad's never too busy to call. Something's wrong. What's wrong? She was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, but promise not to freak out. I was like, I won't freak out. It's fine. So she called me. She's like,
Mm.
Dad had what the world would call a stroke. That's exactly what she said. I was like, what do you mean what the world would call it? So did he have one or not? She's like, yeah. And I was like, well, can I talk to him? And she's like, no, they had to like induce a coma because he kept trying to like pull everything out while they were trying to sedate. They had to
Mm.
sedate him, and then he fell into a deep coma. So he was out for 3 weeks. They thought he was going to pass because it was a hemorrhagic stroke where the brain bleeds, the worst kind.
Mm.
Most people don't survive that one. So
Wow.
they thought he was gonna die, and I was like, oh my god, my dad's gonna die, and I'm never gonna see him again because I couldn't travel because I was pregnant. So I was like, great.
Right.
So, but he survived it, and then he had to go through 12 months of therapy. They said he would never walk again. He would always be in a wheelchair. But he's a fighter because that's just who he is. And he was like, I'll be walking with a cane by the end of the year. Sure enough, he could not get out the bed by himself. He needed one of those little lifts to pick him up on the bed. And he went from that to walking with one of those walkers to a 4-prong cane down to just a stick in a year.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So
That is
he
so
couldn't
amazing.
he couldn't move the left, but he could, like adjust it, and he did it. He was a beast. So he
Wow.
regained back the ability to learn how to use the right side to compensate for the left. So,
Mm.
My grandma moved in with me when I was a
Really?
kid. She had a stroke, but it wasn't that like unilateral, any of that. It was just a major decrease in function. But
Mm.
my mom was like the youngest of 8. So I never, I would
Mhm.
only see her like maybe 4 or 5, 6 times a year. But then she lived with us for a long time. I didn't have to, change her in the bed or anything like that. But it was,
Mhm.
it was definitely not as bad as your father. But it was definitely like life changing, especially as a child. Though you really don't understand. You just think they're old. But now when
Yeah,
you're older,
you don't know what's
understand.
going on. Well, I'm
Man.
sorry to hear that. I mean, I'm glad he's not in pain anymore. He passed away a year and a half ago, so he's not in pain anymore.
But your mom's stuck with him.
She stuck with him till the end. She was the person that saw him take his last breath. So yes, she did.
She's
And I asked her, I was like, are you gonna get married? That's ride or die. And that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like when you get married, do you think that your spouse will be that way? Do you think about that before you say I do, before you propose? Because they could get in a horrible accident and the car can burst into flames and they survive it, but now they're scarred, mutilated. Like, do you think about
Right.
those things before saying I do? So,
No, of
I
course
don't mean to
you.
make this more.
No, you don't.
No, I don't think about that.
I don't
want
think
your wife
people
to
do.
cry.
Should
No.
you?
No.
Should you think
No,
about it?
especially for men. For men, they look at women and they're beautiful. They're like, oh, this beautiful woman. This is my beautiful woman. Do you stay with her after she's not beautiful anymore?
Yes.
They all get old and ugly, or they die before.
There you go.
You got no choice.
Everybody gets uglier the older they get. That's how it goes, kids. And so if you're like, once again, I'm hoping you're going to get into this. There's different types of marriages.
Go ahead,
You
get
marry
into it.
You marry for love. Yes, you're going to stay with her. She'll be 55 years old and she doesn't need a bra anymore. She needs a belt. You know what I mean? And
You're so
I'm
bad.
sorry. But things like this will happen and we will lose our hair, and this kind of shit. It's going to happen. You marry them at the beginning, you love the way they look, but you love them. This is who they are. So you'll stay with them. But that's not the only types of marriages that exist.
What are the other types? Go into it. Give me 2
Financial
other
reasons.
types.
Financial reasons, immigration reasons, societal reasons. You're this old, you're supposed to get married. How about the societies where they have planned marriages, where you have to get married because your parents set it up? Okay.
Yeah.
There's marriage, as far as government concerned, should just be a legal framework to merge your finances and to deal with dependence upon its dissolution. That's all that should be. For the rest of us, for us not trying to write the laws, it's why are you staying with this person? Now we all know it's so much easier to live life if you have a partner. You don't even have to be married. It could be two old ladies that both their husbands died. They're not lesbians at all, but they get married in order to help themselves in order to help themselves with their financial situation.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
That can't be common. I mean,
It's not common, but
I've heard of it.
I see
I've
what you
heard of
mean,
it.
though.
There's reasons to join together with another human being in order to make your life easier. However you do it with a legal framework is irrelevant.
Yeah.
I think most of y'all are thinking about marriage in the way that's the fantasy world, which most of us want to get married for, which is I love this person. I'd like to spend the rest of my life with them, please. Right? But there are plenty of other people who get married for other reasons. And so you have to kind of just, Kelly, you have to tell us which type of marriage you talk about. All of them? Just a legal framework? Is it Chuck and Larry? You know what I mean? That stupid comedy from way back in the day with Adam Sandler that sucked dick. Or
that was for health insurance, right?
That's for health insurance. Or is it because, oh my God, this woman is my life. If she goes somewhere, I'm going to be fucked up. Okay, I have to keep her. So which one are, for different reasons, there's different things happening.
I agree with Raul. There is different type of marriages, but even when you say marriage out of love, one person can be in love, one person can love, and the other one not. So you're not taking that into account that I can love the person that I'm marrying, but nothing guarantees that that person loves me the same way or will stay.
That's correct.
There's nothing guaranteed in this life. And I've seen it with my grandmother the same way that Kelly with my grandpa. Like she stayed until the end. When he passed away, I remember my grandpa, his life was, I could see it. It was so noticeable how deteriorating his life was going, little by little. Like he started losing his ear and then walking slower. Like it was like you could see it. And I can see her as well, like next to him being stronger. And I'm like, man, it was so, their relationship was so strong that we thought that for some reason she was going to pass sooner or later after he's passing. But
that does happen a lot.
Yeah, it happens. But you know what? My grandmother, she's a very devoted person. She took care of her own mother until the end. And she took care of one of her kids until the end. He passed away when he was 32. He had all like different type of things like until the end. And then my grandfather, so she was strong, and she's a strong woman. So I've seen her like giving her own life for everybody else. You can see the love that she actually does it for love. So that's what I'm saying. I can love somebody, but nothing guarantees that somebody else
there,
that they will do it for me. And that's a complicated part because it's reality.
And let's not forget the marriages that are because of religion. They get married when they're young, but their religion forbids them from divorce. They don't love each other. They never really did. They were young kids. They were 18 and fucking stupid, right? Those marriages exist too. So if we're going to answer these questions intelligently, we have to factor in, like Sierra said, all these different types of marriages, one-sided marriages, financial marriages. We can't just say it's the Disneyland, I love you, you love me, let's, kumbaya it. There's going to be a lot of different answers here for a lot of your different questions.
I think it's, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not naive. Like, there is that fantasy, fairy tale, whatever, but I think that's sad. Of course, again, humans, I feel like, I'll just speak for America or just the Western world, has really, and I'm a Christian, but I'll try not to bring that in much, but of course,
you can bring it in, it's okay.
That's going to be my foundation. And when I was on a different channel, they were playing Dr. Tony Evans and his sermon on just marriage being a covenant. And I think that maybe there might still be those marriages where they're more for duty than love. But I'm also of the belief that love is a choice. So even when it's ugly and, that person, they're not doing stuff right, whatever, you still have to choose to love them. And because love doesn't mean it looks great, because sometimes there's people that you love them, so you hide the booze, for example, and that doesn't look nice. Or, other examples that you do for kids you love, but they're not happy about it. You know what I mean?
Very good.
So I think that just marriage doesn't mean anything anymore. And that's what's really sad, because I think from statistically, just developmentally, kids do better, families, whatever. But of course, there's different value systems and things like that. So I'm not gonna, be an ideologue, but I don't know. Just some of my thoughts.
Sorry, thank you for that, Coach K. I did want to welcome B. Taylor. I saw you popped in. My apologies for not welcoming you when you joined.
Hey, can y'all hear me? I know I'm
Yes,
driving.
ma'am.
Okay. All right. I don't even know what the question is, but I've been listening for a little bit.
Oh, we're still on the icebreaker. I haven't even gotten to the questions yet. The question was, the icebreaker was, you've married. That's right. You've never been on my show. Welcome, B. Taylor. Oh my God. So at the beginning of all my shows, I always do an icebreaker. I give a scenario. I like to know how people respond in that scenario. Cool. Can you hear me?
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why my phone blinked out. It said it's hot. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to give you the scenario. It's you have married the love of your life, and you two are living the perfect blissful life. A few years into it, you get a call, you rush to the hospital and find out they have had a stroke. Do you remain by their side?
You said I've been married for 5 years?
A few years. 1, 2, 3.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. It's to death do us part, sickness and health. I didn't take those vows with a grain of salt.
Okay. And that's
what about 3 years? It sounds like, is there like a cutoff time? You said 5.
No,
you're like,
no.
okay. What about 6 months married?
I just thought she said a number. It don't matter. I said
okay.
I do. I don't care if it was the next day.
Okay, no.
I took my vows.
No, I'm playing with you. I'm sorry. I couldn't resist.
He's a smart aleck, B. Taylor. You should have seen how he got Trigger Mike last week. Wait, was that last week?
Last
Who was
time.
here for that when he got Trigger Mike?
I'm a little smart aleck too, so that's okay.
All right, let's hear it. I'm ready for it.
All right, so I'm gonna go into the first question. Ronald Duke, you left. Okay, so my first question.
Hold on, real quick. I'm sorry. Sorry to interrupt. I just thought of something. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Bad Grandpa.
I haven't.
The jackass guy. It's funny because
Johnny Knoxville.
In the beginning, he pretends that he is getting the news that his wife died in like a doctor's office with like regular people, and he sits there and he starts celebrating, and then like that's the whole thing. Like his wife dies, and he goes and he's like happy about it. I mean, it's a joke.
Celebrates?
Of course, but yes.
Why? Oh, he is a bad grandpa.
No, but it's funny because he does it in front of like a real person who doesn't know. That's how it's funny. I mean, it's trolling and it's a prank, but it's not like one of these pranks that are like, really bothering people and that kind of thing.
Oh, we need to pull up this clip. I need to
That's
see
a funny.
It's like a funny prank.
So he's in the doctor's office, gets a call that your wife died, and he's excited about it.
Yeah, and there's people sitting next to him that are like in a doctor's office or something, I guess, or maybe I have to suspend disbelief. Anyways, just watch it. It's the beginning. It's funny.
Okay,
it's a good movie.
When the stream ends, I'll check that out.
It's a good movie with a redemption arc too. So he's
a bad grandpa, but he turns into. You just ruined it for me.
I'm sorry. I know.
It's a comedy, yeah.
You never watched Jackass?
No.
You don't need to see Jackass. Trust me.
You need to learn about Johnny Knoxville from Jackass, and you'll get it.
Do you know who Steve-O is?
I don't
Not
think
do
so.
it
She
twice.
never seen with Jackass, so I don't think she
Well,
knows.
Is this like
Steve
a
also-
popular thing? Is it? What is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was MTV's famous show.
I
Oh,
think
that's
Steve-O
why
has a name. He just has a name too, but yeah.
I
You'll-
wasn't
you'll have
allowed to watch. Oh, Johnny.
Mm.
No. Okay, I recognize his face.
Yeah,
But I
very
don't know.
trashy, like yeah, but it's funny.
No, I've never seen it, but I wasn't allowed to watch MTV growing up. Sorry, very sheltered. Anyway,
What?
can I answer that first question now? What?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Keep interrupting.
Barnabas is taking over as the host. Shane is out. All right, first question. How do couples go? How do you believe? Couples go from madly in love to let's get married to hate, indifference, and divorce. How does that happen?
You move in, and then once you start farting in front of your spouse, it's over. Just get a divorce.
Is that why it ended for you? You just passed gas?
Like that's a sign. Like
What?
if you ever feel comfortable farting in front of your spouse, you might as well just get divorced. I'm telling you, don't do it. Take
Get
a
that
step
out of the
outside.
way.
Are
Huh?
you serious?
Yes, don't do it. You
I
gotta
can't
keep
tell if
that-
you're joking or not.
Advice.
No, I'm being serious. Do not fart in front of your man. I mean, accidents happen, right? But do not achieve that level of comfort ever.
It's
No,
kind of like
and-
burping. Oh well, Raul, sorry.
I
this
know,
is
that's
like-
what I'm saying. The
call
guys
you
do it
out.
on the panel.
There's a way to do something and not be impolite. You know, like you don't just belch like Raul did earlier. But if you have
I
to
did
burp,
not.
excuse me, you know?
No.
Hey, could you please show
No,
us the
wait.
dignified way to pass gas in front of your spouse?
I mean, honestly,
How does that
I'm
look?
gonna be candid with you guys. So we I don't even care. We were long distance, and we would talk about how like after the weekend, like we were so happy when we got to get. I mean, this is a human bodily function. If you can't do this, you're not alive right now. Like you're gonna be sick, I'm sure. But we were so happy to be away from each other because then we like finally got to like relax. But once we kind of guys are different. But I don't even know how it even shut up, Raul. I'm being honest. I don't even care. Once again, if it happens accidentally or whatever,
That's fine. Accidents happen.
you don't like
We're
just
adults.
do it in their face or something. But what you're gonna have to go number 2 when you live together. Raul.
No,
What?
listen.
Can
I'm
you
talking
hear me?
about- Look, you're a girl. I don't know how girls get down, but like boys growing up, we would fart on each other
I know exactly.
and just freely
Right.
fart and like try to get the loudest and the smelliest. And if you just feel that amount of freedom with your spouse, forget it. The
You're
marriage is
right,
not
because
gonna
my
work.
son does that and he thinks
Yes.
it's funny. I'm like,
It is
why?
funny. It's hilarious.
Why
Yeah.
are farts so funny to guys? Even Raul Duke is sitting here busting out laughing just because you said the word.
I just want
Wait,
to
do
bring
y'all know that a woman
Mm.
caught cancer because she held in her farts
That is a lie.
for so
It
long
does
around her
hurt.
That is a lie.
husband? No,
What?
it is. And
That is a lie.
no, she did. And then there's another there was like
It's
a
bad,
Latina
homie.
artist. She was hospitalized because she held in her farts all the time.
I know
around
you're
her
driving, so I'll look
boyfriend.
it up.
That's not
Don't
true.
worry,
Yes.
I got you.
It's not.
Are you
Thank you.
serious?
It
It's not
hurts
true.
to hold them in.
That is not true.
It's dangerous. It's actually very dangerous.
So
Have
I'm
you
gonna
ever
show
lived
you.
with? Wait, have you ever lived with a woman? Cause like, why do you think she doesn't supposed to do like bodily, humanly things?
Look, okay, maybe I didn't communicate this effectively and clearly. We are adults. We do adult things. We are aware of human body functions that are necessary for life. We accept these things. But my comment is, if you're sitting on the couch with your man and you're watching a TV show and you have to fart, if you just rip it out on the couch right next to him,
Why you gotta phrase it like that?
on purpose, as opposed to go to the bathroom, go to another room, better go outside. If you just fart,
I'm not not going outside. He's just gonna have to handle that. I'm not going outside.
Then you're going to get a divorce,
He doesn't
and I've
have to
warned
go
you here.
outside. I'm not going outside.
So I have a question.
Let yourself out
Yes.
like you're the dog.
Wait.
Go on.
I would say
I'm done. I'm fucking leaving.
personally, I agree with you, sir. But I have a question for you before I say anything. Do you think that is disrespectful?
It's like a malicious fart? I mean, that's like a whole other level.
No. In general.
Disrespectful to the
In
marriage.
general.
Get here.
No. You know, and you thought about it. I should have asked this question before anything. Do you think it's disrespectful? Yes or no?
To a spouse, yeah. If it's like my friend, it's funny.
So if
like a
it is
woman.
disrespectful, he shouldn't be doing it either.
No, agreed. I'm
Okay.
not just.
Then
this
that's
is
all I needed to know. because
Goose
I
and the
personally-
gander. The man should not do it. Either.
Right. Okay. So right now it sounded like you just think that a woman shouldn't do it, but in this case, I agree with you because I personally don't do it. I've never liked it. I've lived with somebody for 3 years and he never hurt me. At least if I was conscious, never. I can guarantee that.
I want to talk about that. I want
No, zero.
I want to come in here.
I'm telling you, I couldn't even go to the bathroom when he was in the house. Nothing. So I agree with you on that. But when he used to do that, I was like, right on his ribs. And I was like, no, you're not going to do that. Go away.
I want to jump in here.
He did it. Like, he had to respect.
Are you still married?
No, but it didn't work for
Oh,
other reasons.
damn it.
See, that's
Almost like you save your marriage by hitting him in a way.
No, I mean, I'm
Oops,
not
did I say
saying
that?
It's,
Nice.
you know, like I'm sleeping and it's like kind of like, I did it like that, but no, I'm not going to hit him. I'm
Look, if
saying,
it's like
I
a sleep
know.
and an accident, it's different.
Nasty
It's different.
mother.
No, it was intentional. But on the other side, I've seen it with my father. My father is, oh my God, he's crazy. He's a clown. So he could do it even like at the supermarket, walking. And he used to hug us and do it. And like, come on, you know, like get away from me. It was embarrassing. But he's still with my stepmom for over 20 years now. So I can't say this is, no.
Oh,
So,
well.
But I
I'll
personally
let-
don't like it.
I know B. Taylor came off the mic and Raul Duke wanted to say something. And then
Oh,
I will
yes.
explain
Oh,
how to do the-
I said I would tell a hilarious story, but I know I'm gonna get clipped up, so I'm gonna just clip it in. But it's so
Tell
funny.
people clip it. Clip me saying whatever. I know you actually have a platform and stuff, but clip
Yeah.
it because guess what? I found that link, by the way. So I'll post it
Oh,
in
you
back
did
chat.
find it. Exactly. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly, can
Yeah,
you
there-
pull that up? How dangerous it is.
Yeah,
But
send it
look,
to me.
okay. So I have
Yeah.
a
Post it.
funny story. Okay, I have a funny story. So a guy I was dating, it was my first time. Like, he was my boyfriend for like college boyfriend. And I remember I was hiding from him when I had to like go to the bathroom and like anything. And if I'm with you all day and we've been like eating and drinking and everything, like, oh, it's a build up. So I sneak
You gotta
and get up
go.
in the middle of. I snuck and got up in the middle of the night at like 2:00 in the morning, and I'm about to just use the bathroom. And all of a sudden, right before I do it, I hear a knock, and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like,
No.
No, I waited all this time.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I just had to let it. I just had to let loose. It was just too late. It was too late. I was so embarrassed.
That is
So
so
sometimes
real.
you just can't
So
hide
real.
that.
Listen, it is a normal. Oh, Raul Duke, I know you wanted to go.
Please.
Go ahead, and then I'll do the proper etiquette way.
All right. Well, one of my areas of expertise is flatulence, and so I think I'm
I knew.
uniquely qualified to come in here. Number one, all you ladies who are holding it in, I want to let you know right now, when you sleep, you fart, and we hear you, and it wakes us up. Every single one of you girls who think your man has never heard you fart, you're wrong. You fart in your sleep, and we hear it, and we smell it, and we'll like move the covers a bit. Just letting you know, you can't hold it in all fucking day, ladies. You can't. It will
hurts,
come out
too.
at your most vulnerable time, and we will wake up, and we will.
I agree with that.
Do you really wake up?
I wasn't conscious. I said I wasn't
imagine-
conscious.
Yeah, no, because imagine you holding it in and you gotta go, and all this pressure is built up. And
Your
y'all-
body's gonna let it out.
your body's gonna let it out, but what if it happens during intimacy?
And we're
Like-
usually next to you, right? Like the cuddle. We're the big spoon and you're the little one. It hits our cock, and we know you're farting.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't
Wait,
know.
I got more to say. I got more to say.
Okay.
Wait, JR and Kelly, are you guys on that level?
No.
Oh shit!
I want JR to tell you about
Lie,
his secret.
JR, lie.
I want JR to tell you about his secret passing gas. Like, can you tell them or can I tell them? Where'd you go? You free? Huh?
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Yeah, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. He has a thing about it. Like, he does not play. He does not like it.
Yeah, I don't pass gas on intentionally. I just can't do it. I can't pass gas unless I'm on the toilet.
Interesting.
Well, let me finish my thing though. Here's how it works. Now, different human beings have different shit.
Somebody
At
said
the
about
beginning
this.
of your relationship, no, you're not farting around someone. You're not going to shit in their house.
Let's go back.
Okay, you're not going to do that at the beginning of the relationship. But I got to tell you, once you marry me, okay, I understand. All right, it's going to happen. You're going to fart. I might fart. My father was a prolific farter. He would do it at like opportune moments to just like make it funny. And the women would always try not to. But I have dated many women, okay? And at the beginning, no, both of you don't want to fart around each other. Why? I don't want you to smell my asshole. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to do that shit. Nobody wants to go to their house and go have a drink and hang out and watch a movie and then go in their bathroom and drop a deuce. We all plan around that. And that's how it should be because it's at the beginning. But once you're married, guys, and for the next 40, 50 years of my life, we're going to live around each other, Jesus Christ. I mean, please don't die of cancer. I mean, once again, I don't believe that's true, but please don't hold your farts in that bed. If you have to go to another room and fart, that's fine. But if I ever catch my wife farting, I'm not going to be like, holy shit, what a nasty bitch. Now I got to divorce this asshole. No.
What?
She had to just let it go, man. What I would do is return fire and make funny. You know, oh, you like that? How about one of these? You know, and we would have a good time about it. You got to make a joke out of it. It's a normal human bodily function. If you live with a woman, she's going to stink up the bathroom. If you live with a man, he's going to stink up the bathroom. Shit happens, literally.
Like, literally.
Deal with it. But I don't mind everybody being polite at the beginning. No, at the beginning, we're all trying to do the right thing. You know, I don't fart in public. You know, at work, I have a patient in the room. I don't try to, right on there. I don't do that. You know, nobody does. You extend the same respect to your spouse and your other people. But once you've been around each other for 10, 12, 15 years, most of the married couples I know will just let it fly and laugh about it because, I mean, what the hell ever.
Barnabas says that's how you get a divorce.
You should not divorce because someone farts next to you. If you're doing that, you are a shallow son of a bitch, and I have no respect for you.
It's
like not for better or for worse. You don't even want to come on.
Right. If you can't smell my breakfast, we can't talk.
Wait, once it exits the outro smelling of your breakfast?
Yeah, that's what he said.
No, I meant when we were cooking. It was a completely different conversation, Kelly. Thanks for joining.
I'm okay with that.
It's like a canary in a coal mine. It just signifies. It's like a barometer or a like a. It's like a measurement.
So it's like the relationship has died once the relationship is.
Yes.
So it's not a comfort level for you. It's the relationship has died once you can pass gas in front of them comfortably.
Yeah, and
I don't believe you.
Okay. Well, I have a failed marriage, so taking advice from someone who failed at marriage is probably a bad idea.
Is that the reason?
What?
Is that the reason?
Well,
no, you don't need to reveal. I know that was not the reason.
I was thinking the same. I was thinking the same thing. Like, no, I don't think that was the reason why, though.
I guess that was what you could translate that to is just, I don't know, don't get too comfortable. Maybe, I don't know, or maybe you should. I mean, again, I had a failed marriage. So, is there any successful married person on the panel?
Yes. Well, for now. I mean, yeah, we are. Yeah, I'm not leaving. So yeah, I'm married. Yeah.
Well, you said for now.
So I mean, she's newlywed. She's a
exactly.
newlywed.
Yeah. So I didn't want to be like, I've been married for a long time. You know, I didn't want to like
For
come
a
off
whole
like that.
6
That's why I said
months.
that. Right.
Wait,
I didn't want to
what
come
was the
off like
original
that.
question, Kelly? I
don't even know how we got to flatulence and passing gas.
I'm
and
sorry.
That was like,
I'm
what?
sorry. There was a question behind that, really.
The original question was, how do couples go from madly in love and let's get married to hate, indifference, and divorce? You said pass gas or fart. I don't really like the word. It's not ladylike. But yeah. How does that
I'll go
happen?
ahead. I'll go ahead and answer
Please,
this
thank
question.
you. And let's not talk about
Yeah, I want to just say that it probably wasn't a genuine connection between the two of them. So they might have got together for all the wrong reasons. Could have been something sexual, could have been money, but it just wasn't any true connection, any long-term thought when it came to it. So even if they rushed and got into it just by spending time with each other, it probably wasn't something that they really planned for the long run.
How do you know what a genuine connection feels like?
Is that for the panel?
I don't know. You said it. Sounds like you have all the answers, sir.
Well, I read a few books, so I'm just regurgitating what I read. Now, it's kind of different for everybody. I guess it all depends on the person. I mean, some people feel like you don't have to have a connection. It just may be sort of like a business, maybe something for an image, something like that. For others, it may be spiritual, and then other people it may just be romance. So I guess it all depends on the person.
Thank you for expounding, oh wise sage.
Copy that.
Do you feel that once you get to a certain level of comfortability, I know I'm saying it wrong, that it's okay to pass gas in front of your significant other?
I'm not a big fan of anyone passing gas. I think that shit is ignorant. I think even when I walk into the male restrooms and washrooms, and for them, because I mean, some of it is just like you could have sat on the toilet for that shit, man. That shit sounded horrible, but I just can't do that shit, man. That shit leave your drawers nasty as hell. So I don't understand what the big deal is. Go to the toilet. Look at that ignorant ass fucker there.
You don't like it when they're passing gas in the bathroom?
It's just like if somebody sneezes, man. I mean, you got people that just sneeze just loud as hell for no reason. I mean, I can sneeze with my mouth closed if I really wanted to, right? I mean, especially around the pandemic, a lot of people was just coughing on the low. It was holding it in.
Right.
But some people just ignorant with it. Me, I'm a little bit more disciplined when it comes to passing gas and sneeze. I'm more conscious of my surroundings, whereas other folks is just ignorant, like our old dude just did there.
It's ignorant. This
Whoa. Now we gotta talk. Now we gotta fucking talk. You're telling me in the room where I can take a shit, I can't fart? Is that what you're saying? In the men's restroom,
Public bathroom?
I can't take a shit, but I can't fart?
Based off experience, right? Okay. I'm not gonna say I've never done it, but if I've done it, it's probably because you got a cold and you probably might have already had some gas. You may have sneezed or coughed and then it came out unexpected. But based off that experience, that's nasty ass shit, man. It just don't feel right back there. So
when you shit, you fart. It's all coming out the same hole. What are you talking about? That's what the men's restroom is for.
But it's misting inside of the
I'm done. I'm fucking done. You can't fart in the men's restroom. That pisses me off. That's where you're supposed to fart. You're not farting around public. You're farting in the restroom.
He wants them to go home and do it in their own bathrooms.
I agree.
Christ.
I mean, but I'm a woman, so I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense when you. I mean, this is. Yeah, I'm done. Let me stop it.
Over here.
He's a bougie pass gasser. He has a bidet.
We did just get one of those. That's interesting.
Yeah, they said JR said be classy with it. That's right.
How do you be? Let's get into it. How do you be classy with a fucking fart? Do you like modulate the temperature? Do you like a little bit out at a time? How do you do it? Because there are 5 good definitions. No, we're not getting into that.
There's levels around because there's a toot. Oh, excuse me. There's a
yeah.
Like Like, that's too much. That doesn't need to happen in public. There doesn't need to be a symphony.
But you're in the men's restroom. This is where you relieve your bowels. This is the room designed for this purpose, right? And so if some other man, like you just did right there, do that little thing, if I was taking a piss and some guy did that in the stall, I would give him props. I would say, yeah, brother. I would respect the ability to modulate his asshole in a way to make that sound so prolifically.
And JR will be standing beside you in the other man wall potty, and he'll be like, "Oh, that disgusting mother."
I won't say all that.
What about the work bathroom? Because I can't stand when people do that at the work bathroom. And some people, you could tell their stomach they sick. Because you walk in, you be like, oh my God. It just makes you want to throw up. And you like, what is it? It smell like dead like a carcass.
The whole thing.
Like, you okay? Like, that's not healthy.
That was inside your body? That was inside.
Never look at them the same.
Taylor, you need to pick a side. You're saying this woman died because she held in her fart, and now you're complaining you're dropping deuces in the toilet. Pick a side. You can't go on both sides of the fence.
I'm just saying, like,
I'm saying be human. Give people a place to fart.
It's okay, but I'm just saying some people, like, they stomach, I don't know what they holding in, like weeks of shit, but like that, it smell like somebody died. And I'm like, no, you need to go home. That's disrespectful. Right. That's disrespectful.
I'm gonna tell you guys the rule of thumb. If you can smell your own shit, it's bad.
Yeah, if it makes you gag, it's bad.
Just imagine somebody walking in. If you smell it, it smells worse than the people that's coming in.
Wait, I'm gonna get on Lapeef again. People are taking shit, and it doesn't smell like shit when you shit. You literally shit roses. Is that what you're saying to the people?
No, I'm not saying that. Over time, it has gotten worse. I mean, I kind of surprised myself.
I eat well, and my shit doesn't stink too bad. But no matter who you are, shit will never smell good. You know why?
Actually.
Don't tell me your shit smells good, Bailey.
There is something called
poopery. Yeah, poopery. I got those in my home for my guest bathroom and my bathroom. So if you do have to go, you could just spray in there, and it won't.
Spray,
that's
and
fine,
then you do the courtesy flush.
No, you spray before you go, and then it just does something with the smell.
It's probably a chemical.
That's wonderful. That's amazing. But if you were like a caveman out in the woods and you took a shit, it's going to stink.
No, that's you cover it up, I'm sure.
You're supposed to bury it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You've never
Why
been
are we
camping.
talking about this?
I don't know.
How do we get on this? Yeah.
This is the for worse part. If you can live through the stinkiness of your spouse, that's the for worse, right?
My official position is if you get married to someone, you're going to deal with their shit. Sometimes literally.
Yep.
I like that.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Okay. So I guess I'll move on to my next question, since the other person answered my first one was Lapeef JR. Second question. In your opinion, what are true grounds for divorce?
Cheating.
That's it. Just the one.
No, a lot more. I was just throwing one out. I wanted everybody to spitball.
Okay.
Preying on children.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Heinous crime. A heinous crime.
Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't do jail time with your bae. Like that's for worse. Like, hey, I want to rob a bank, rob it with me, stick with me, the for worse part.
Robbing bank, I'm cool with. Hurting children, I'm not. There's a line.
There was a movie with I forgot the guy who played Gladiator, Russell Crowe, where his wife got blamed for a murder, but she didn't do it. You didn't know to the end she didn't do it, but she got blamed for a murder, and he stuck with her throughout it, and he helped get her out of jail, and they escaped to another country. I hope I didn't just ruin that movie. It's on Netflix.
No, that sounds interesting though.
Hey, Lapeef, that means that Kelly's thinking about killing someone. Just let you know.
No, she never killed them, but he believed her. No one else believed her. The lawyer didn't believe her. The judge didn't. No one believed her. She was sentenced to death and a life in prison, and he stuck with her. He's like, I know you didn't do this. I know you, and he helped her escape. It was a really good movie.
Raul Duke, I agree with you because I mean the way she was excited about John Wick.
What, John Wick? Pow, 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 pow,
I'm just saying, if
That
there's
is
money
bad.
in it, I will help you, Lapeef. Just delete
You
that
help.
part of the show, edit it out.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
What will you help him do?
Nothing. We were gonna plant a garden.
I know where you live, Raul Duke. And I've watched John Wick, all four
Plant
of
a
them.
garden.
so.
I can't.
All right, Kelly, what was the question again?
Grounds for divorce, in your opinion, what are true grounds for divorce?
Domestic violence.
An affair.
I agree with everyone what they said, like crime, depending on the crime, cheating. That's such a tricky one because it just is, it's like what kind of cheating? Not to say it's gonna be acceptable at all, but like for divorce,
Yeah.
like it would have to be like, okay, I know you're not trying to change or be better, so this I'm not gonna keep putting up with this and endanger my life, especially if you're sleeping with other people. Like,
Mm.
no. And then of course
And possibly
abuse.
passing STDs?
Right, because you know what my gynecologist says? She's married and she's like, oh, I encourage all married women to get tested at least once a year. She's like, I even get tested once a year because she's like, you'll be surprised how many married women come back with stuff and they had no clue.
That's sad.
Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my male doctor said the same thing. He said you should always get it. I mean, it was the same story but different genders, of course, where he said that he had a patient that was a male and his wife was cheating. And gave
Wow.
him so.
Oof.
I believe
Yikes.
it.
Do you have one, Barnabas, for grounds for divorce? Like good reasons.
Yeah, no.
In the marriage.
So
other than
of course,
passing gas.
yes. I'm sorry. I'm not going to talk about that again. I promise. But everything that everyone mentioned, of course, is grounds. I mean, not in the eyes of the church, I suppose, but in the eyes of reality is. But I think maybe a more intriguing question would be is, what is the threshold for divorce? Like, like, of course, if your spouse is a Jeffrey Dahmer, you have to divorce them. Of course, if they're committing horrible crimes, you're going to divorce them. But it's like, what about if they are a drunk driver and they crash 3 cars? Something like that. That's like a maybe.
If they don't change.
Yeah, and then
no, that's hard because if they're a drunk driver and they kill 3 families and they're still alive,
if they kill someone,
stay with that person, like
that
is a great
question, right?
I mean, I would try to get him help because obviously he has an addiction to alcohol. And so that is a hard one, but I mean, I take vows serious. So when I'm ready to do it, like I'm in it, like, cause I had an addiction and my husband just like, like if I had like an alcohol addiction and my husband just like left, like then you didn't mean your vows, so like for me, I would try my best before I give up, like at least I would try, and I would try to, as a wife,
and I would know
like,
if he was
if
he was drunk driving, I would know by then, like it wouldn't even get to that point if he were to kill someone, because everyone out there, don't freaking do it, because think about if it was your family member, whatever, on the road. I think about that all the time. But it's so sad. But I'm with B. Taylor, yeah.
I actually had someone I worked with, and he was driving on his side of the road. It was him, his wife, and his 2 kids in the back. And one of his employees had been drinking, and when she was coming the opposite direction, she jumped the median and ran head first into their car and almost killed all 4 of them. They were all in critical condition. Thank God they were believers. They all survived. But if I was with that person that did that, I don't know if I would definitely see them differently. Like, you're reckless, and the way you choose to live your life affected other people.
But
So
were they like
Mhm.
that when you met them, and what made them become like that?
great question. But
Talk about
Because
Did you
forgiveness.
that if
stay?
a
Man.
person, yeah, because like you would see the signs before they even get that
Fuck, is
bad,
that
you know.
chaotic?
Right.
Jesus Christ, we're in trouble.
Welcome, Chaotic Truth.
Well, I gotta laugh to keep from crying. YouTube suspended me for a week.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what I
Why?
did. I did a video,
Not you.
a live stream today about a hero, a teacher. She had to lay the hands of God on one of her students out in North Carolina.
The
For
girl
some
that
reason,
tried to take her phone.
yeah, that one.
I
And for
saw
some
that.
reason, YouTube said that I violated child protection. I have no idea. I was just showing the fight, and I was breaking down ESPN style the fight. And YouTube got me up
So
out of there.
excited.
So I haven't cried as a grown man ever. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I might drop a tear tonight. But salute to you guys. How are you guys doing tonight? JR, salute. Kelly, Sayer, Barnabas, Coach K, Raul, B. Taylor, salute. You guys are talking about love and marriage, or and to death do you part? Do you part, right?
For better or
Yeah.
for worse, yes.
Okay.
You,
I don't know.
you
I
might want to
mean,
pose that
I beg your
question you
pardon.
asked.
The last question I asked is, in your opinion, what are true grounds for divorce? And everyone was giving a good reason for a divorce.
Okay. Well, I would like to answer that question.
Go right ahead. If she doesn't cook and clean, doesn't use a mop.
No. To be honest with you, gaining weight.
It's
Gaining a
grounds
lot
for
of weight.
divorce.
Of course it
That's
is.
it.
What
Well, I
is
mean,
a
obviously
thyroid issue?
there's more grounds for divorce, but one of them is gaining weight, a lot of weight. I mean, that is one. I think that's the top one,
I
because
don't believe him.
you got to think about everything else that comes with that. You know, it's too much. Uh, Health factors. A lot of times when you're morbidly obese, you don't get a lot of. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but maybe a lot of oxygen isn't coming to the brain, and you go into depression and mood swings. There's a lot of things that come with being overweight, man. Um, you know, Generally healthy people or thinner people, they tend to exercise, so they're more upbeat. Hey, I'm upbeat. I'm running. I'm exercising. But when you're just lounging around eating food that has a lot of processed foods, it does have uh, effects on your biology.
No, you're
Again,
right.
I'm
When
not.
you work out, you get the happy endorphins. They're released.
Yeah. So no. Yeah, I think that might be one of them. Another grounds for divorce would be obviously if a female or your spouse, your wife cheats. Um, that's another. Obviously, these are obvious things. These are what second graders could come up with. Cheating is one. I don't know what else could be another grounds for divorce other than like. Yeah, I don't know what
So
else.
what's
I
been said
mean,
already was
Wait a minute.
pedophilia,
Number one,
pedophilia,
oh,
abuse,
holy shit, chaotic's
pedophilia,
here.
abuse,
yeah, pedophilia definitely. Damn, I didn't think
and
about
domestic
pedophilia.
violence.
No,
And
no. He
domestic
just said if
violence.
you get fat, you're out. But he didn't consider pedophilia.
I never thought. I just came here. I didn't even know you guys talked about that.
I'm happy you're here. I think we're in trouble now because you and I will both get in a lot of trouble. You're here. We know you're going to get in trouble because Coach Hay is here. But the most important thing, chaotic, if your wife farts around you, would you divorce her?
No.
That was the most important question we've had tonight.
What if it's malicious and on purpose?
It's just fart.
No. Some people are into that.
On
kind of
you
stuff.
and
Yeah. No. Some people are into that. Some people
So
are
some
into
people is into that, and some people is also into weight.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, touche.
I'm just saying. But like when the wife gets pregnant, she automatically will gain 25 pounds. And how long after the pregnancy she gets rid of the baby weight, But to me, hold on, chaotic. I agree with you because I'm a very active person, but I can say the same thing about my man. I want a healthy man. Just as much as he wants me healthy, I want him healthy. Why? Because it doesn't benefit me that he's healthy. It's for him because he's gonna be. I know that being healthy is a personal thing. I feel better. I do things better. I think better just by being healthy, eating healthy, being active. Everything is aligned in my life. So if he is the same way, he is going to be the same. He's going to be healthy. So it's not just for like someone to do it for me. I don't want to be active and be healthy for him. I was healthier before him. So I want to, have a healthy man too. So I agree with you if it is on that level. But and I agree that a woman should, maintain herself the best way possible. But sometimes there are factors that we can't control, like hormones, for example.
Yes.
And that affects us during pregnancy. And sometimes it's harder to lose weight after a certain age as well. Like after 35, it's harder and harder to lose some weight. So, those things is like, and the body will just automatically start looking different. But we are always comparing to Hollywood that we think that we have to look in a certain way. And it's not that.
So you leaving your man if he gets too fat, Saida?
No, I'm not, but I'm definitely going to push him to do something. I'm going to say, hey, we're going to go for a walk. Correct. I'm not leaving.
I was going to say, is it okay if the guy gains weight? Is that okay?
You talking to me, Kelly?
Yeah, like, is she allowed to divorce him if he gains weight?
Well, a woman can divorce, or a wife can divorce her husband willy-nilly. That's up to her. But generally, men, we are not judged on our bodies in terms of in the way that we judge a woman.
Like aesthetics.
Yeah, a woman, let's be honest, man. Really, all that matters with a woman is your looks.
Oh my God!
Hear me out. Hear me out for a minute. Just
the children.
And children raised right. But hear me out.
You want to be around for the children.
But hear me out.
Some asshole.
What woman really says, "Oh, I'm going to divorce him because he gained 50 pounds"? I never heard that before. Because men have other qualities. Women. Listen. I ain't gonna lie, man. We just really look at looks. I've been on dates before I was married. And listen, I'm pretty sure Barnabas, Raul, you were like this too. A female can be talking, and you could literally say, "I don't even know what you said for the last 5 minutes. Tell me that ain't never happened to one of you guys. Tell me that ain't never happened. We're not listening to you. We're looking at your looks. We're thinking about, I wonder if her bra is like purple or something."
Oh my God!
I'm serious. I'm lying. We're not thinking about what women are thinking about. We're just looking at her looks. Let's be honest. Come on, man. You talking to me?
I'm gonna be honest. This to me is why this is a man's weakness. Like, you guys think you're so intelligent, you're so smart, you're so strong, you're so witty. All you have to do is have a big pair of tits walk past you and you lose it. You can't even think. It's like, it's almost
like a dog with a bone
to yourself. Like,
because that woman with a great body will not stay with you if you get, get into a coma, for example.
She might.
She might, and you will go with somebody. She might. We cannot. We don't have that pass. We as women cannot just go with like he might. No, we cannot.
There's no guarantees in life.
There's nothing
guaranteed.
Death and
taxes.
Yeah.
The kryptonite of men is women. Absolutely, 100%.
Exactly. I read a quote that said that the strongest man
I don't understand
ever,
if all we have to do is it's kind of contradicting to me, because if all a woman has to do is look pretty, then why is all this complaining about women not cooking, not cleaning, not doing anything? If all she has to do is just look good.
Well, they don't want her to be brain dead, but I know what you mean, though.
That's a good one, actually. CT, I need backup on that. Help us out.
I believe men choose.
Oh, he wasn't listening to you because you're a woman. Sorry.
No, I apologize.
Oh my fucking God!
Go ahead, repeat.
Let Kelly go.
Barnabas.
I'm used to it.
I was looking.
I believe men choose what they want in a woman versus what they actually need in a woman.
No, Saida brought up a good point. She said that
all a woman has to do is look pretty and nothing else. Then why all these conversations, nonsense things going on that women don't cook, don't clean, don't do nothing? If all they had to do is just look pretty, I don't get it.
I mean, do they have to be nonsense things? I was with you for a minute.
It's contradicting.
CT, help me out.
Hey,
I don't necessarily think it's contradicting. I think that cooking and cleaning is it's like it should be like your arms. You know, it should be just a part of your nature as a woman to do those things. I mean, if you sit back and think about it, but like the looks is where it's at. You know.
Can I? This is what I think. I think a guy would rather. Like if a woman, let's say, is really freaking smart and intellectual and all the rest, but she's not easy on the eyes, that doesn't really do anything for them. But if there's a woman who, I think boneheads are just annoying as hell. But if there's a woman who's really pretty and pretty, like, I mean, she's not dumb, but they'd rather have that because really they don't need, a genius.
Yeah.
Usually.
Coach K.
And if she can't clean, ladies, and men too. I mean, because men obviously, I mean, you should be able to take care of yourself. But if you can't clean, come on. Like one time I saw someone using a broom at work when I worked in a restaurant, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? They were, but yeah.
But Coach
there
K,
are some women who cannot clean. Like I know that for a fact. Like when I was in college and I moved to California on a whim, and I thought I was being pranked because when I walked into the apartment, I had 2 roommates and they were all women. And I don't know if it was like a culture thing because they were from Asia, like they born and raised, and they came here to go to college at LA. I think it was, anyway,
Go ahead,
What was
Taylor.
that?
He was fucking around with the soundboard. Go ahead.
That was me. Whenever I'm on a panel by myself and somebody says Asian stuff, I just happen to play that. Sorry.
Oh.
It kind of like when you think of China or never mind. Just go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, when I walked in, it was literally flies and like plates and old food and like food, like it just smelt, and I literally was like, oh my god, they're pranking me. This must be a prank. Like it was so dirty in there. I thought it was a prank. It was food all over the floor, all over the table, and like I opened up the fridge and it's like packed with like old expired food, like, and I was like, is this, I don't know what's going on, but the first roommate I seen, I thought they were joking, like, oh, I'm being initiated. That's how bad it was. Because I was like, there's no way somebody's living like this. But they were literally living like that because I guess, I don't know. They came from wealthy families. So like, they didn't even know what a vacuum cleaner was. And I don't know if they have vacuum cleaners like in their country, but I had to show them like how a vacuum cleaner works. Because they were trying to sweep the carpet.
You live with them? Like you continue to live with them?
I had no choice.
Yeah, I would have needed
Oh, hell no.
I need to transfer.
Yeah. Well,
there's other countries that don't use carpets, FYI.
Oh, they did say that. So they didn't know how to clean the carpet. So the carpet was never clean. So I bought a vacuum cleaner and I taught them how to like clean up after themselves. And they started cleaning. I don't know if it's because they were kind of scared of me, but
the light's not going down like this in here.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, cleaning is something you have to be shown how to do. You have to see someone do it, or you have to be taught how to do it. You don't just come out the womb knowing how to clean.
Yeah.
Right.
When the other people have their turns, I like to have a turn to just diagnose all this shit.
Go ahead, Raul. You got it.
Some of y'all are fucked up. I'll say that right now. All right. Number one, yes, women's looks are important the same way the man's looks are important. Yes, plenty of us will go after a girl who's just hot, even though she's stupid and we can't hang out with her and have any good times. But that's just for a fuck. That's being a young, dumb kid. And plenty of you girls hang out with assholes that just look hot, have a good body, and they take care of themselves, and you'll hook up with them. But you're not really looking at them for a husband. So number one, Chaotic, I'm on your team 90% of the time. But Jesus Christ, man, there's a lot more to women than just looking good. Kelly was talking earlier about the fucking, your wife gets burned in an accident or something, but you were madly in love with her. Are you going to fucking leave her now because you can't fuck her and because she's like madly burnt? No, you asshole. You're not going to do that shit. That's for the fucking losers in life. That's for the lower fucking life forms. Of course you are. Now, can you just hook up with someone because they're hot? Of course. But if you're going to have that emotional connection. This is for men and women. A lot of you guys really think that we're two different fucking species, and you're wrong. Men and women are both humans. And we'll hook up with the hot ones even though they're stupid, but we'll choose the ones that we care about, that we feel the connection with. And if you haven't felt this kind of connection in your life, I feel sorry for you. What a horrible experience. You could be gay, and it could be some other dude that you feel the experience. Whatever, I don't give a shit. There's that, and then there's just shut up, Lapeef. There's love and there's lust. Okay, lust will always work first. A lot of the times you start off with lust and it turns into love. Okay, that's fucking fine. But like, I've loved this woman. She's my life for the rest of her life. But she had 3 of my kids, and now she's fat. So fuck her. God damn, what a shallow asshole you must be to think that way. Now,
okay, I do think that's fucked, but yeah.
It happens because you know why? There's a lot of shallow fucking assholes in this world. No human being is perfect. But at least let's just try to strive to be better people. You know my philosophy here, Kelly. I want human beings to get better. I want us to work gradually to being a better.
Duke is not racist. The only thing he doesn't like is stupid people.
I hate stupid people.
That is
dumb people. This is just sexual. This girl turns me on. I want to fuck her, even though she's an idiot. You're gonna go with that. Same with you girls. Plenty of you ladies have hooked up with a dude that just looks good, but he's a fucking moron. And, Taylor at least is stepping up. It happens. Okay, number one. So it's not male or female. It's just the fact that, are you in lust or are you in love? And then I want to get back to farts later because I like that topic.
Okay.
Bruh. Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Michael Richardson in the chat. I normally don't address anybody, but not today, man. He called me a loser. Not today. I got my channel taken away from me, Michael. Can you just hold?
I've timed him out. Don't even look at it.
Thank you. Thank you for timing him out. Thank you so much. And normally I wouldn't. Okay, thank you. Not today. Not today, chat. Right. Please, not today.
So everyone talked about the obvious reasons for divorce, but I wanted to bring up some not so obvious reasons, but that still can lead to a divorce. Death of a child. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Bankruptcy. A spouse going to jail or crime. I think someone did mention that. Or a torrid love affair that ends up being a scandal. Because sometimes people are okay with cheating, but once it goes public, they're not okay with it. So like things like that can pull on a relationship in real life, but you don't necessarily.
What about if somebody loses their mind?
That is another one.
I never.
Like Alzheimer's or dementia.
I'm talking about Alzheimer's, dementia, or even just.
That's fucked up. If you leave somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia, that's really fucked up.
They won't remember.
They won't remember. Yeah, I was going to say
they
that.
Won't even know.
No. But everyone around you will know what type of person you are. Everyone around you will know what type of person and human being you are. And and don't even have any children with that person because they will look at you and be like, you're a fucked up human being.
Yeah, like what about like schizophrenia or something like that? Like later in life or something, they have to be hospitalized. Like
unless they're violent, no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what if they like are schizophrenic? Because I did have so I had a friend that dealt with that with the boyfriend. Like he just started acting paranoid and thought people were following him. He started accusing her, bugging his phone, and I was even a witness to it because this is not funny. But we were in the car, we were going to a restaurant. I know because it's so fucked up. Because I've never been in a situation, and she was so embarrassed, and he was like, "Oh my God, Obama is here," because he was in my city, and he was like, "He got my letter, and he's coming to see me." He was trying to turn the car around, and she's like, "No, we're going to this restaurant, and you're paying for it." I'm like, I had to sit there and witness him, like, literally think Obama was in town just for him. Like, eventually, she just couldn't deal with it, and he got admitted into some type of something. I don't know. Hopefully, he's doing better now. We don't.
Can I ask you a question, B. Taylor? How good looking was he?
Okay.
He was nice. He was very nice.
Yeah, I figured that because I feel like no offense, ladies. I just feel like if a guy loses his marbles, I don't think a woman would put up with that shit for like a day or two. I just feel like this guy had to be really good looking.
I would.
Yeah, he was her. He was her. Yeah, he was her first, and he was very like handsome, strong, worked out, well put together in college.
Yeah.
Worked for everything, bought his own nice car. Like
about 6'2", 6'3".
I don't know if he was that tall, but he was just very like well put together and worked really hard. And ultimately, he just lost his mind.
Don't forget,
I don't know if I lost my mind. My wife would leave me in like an hour.
Don't forget, a lot of women wrote Jeffrey Dahmer in prison trying to hook up with him.
They're writing Alex Murdaugh right now.
He was an attractive man, and they like. I'm trying to help you out, Chaotic. He's right. There, and it happens the same way. It could be for a different, it could be man to women, but there are some fucked up people out there that if you're hot enough, who cares? There was some guy who got arrested. God damn, I forget. And he was arrested for murder, and the women were like writing in like he's too attractive to be arrested. Don't fucking prosecute.
Yeah, Bundy.
Bundy was like the original back in the 70s, but there was some during our time, like in like 2013 or some shit. And they were like, this guy's too hot to go to prison. Don't send him because he murdered people. But the girls were still like, don't do it. And I'm sure that there are men that have done it towards women that are hot too, 100%. But human beings are fucking stupid, guys.
Yeah.
There will always be that portion of our population that is that dumb, but we cannot let that represent the rest of our fucking species. You know what I mean? It's like this amount versus the rest of us are here. And you know what I mean? Don't use that as an excuse for the entire species being stupid, which, I think a lot of you are.
I still disagree with you on the looks thing, but we don't have to belabor that point. But not to Chaotic's level.
What do you disagree on the looks thing about? What was it that you disagreed with?
I think, men and women, for the most part, there's, some outliers, but they are wired differently, hormonally, they're different, things like that.
Coach K, is your husband handsome?
Yeah.
Would other women think so, not just you?
That's a rotten question.
If he looked like Quasimodo, would you feel the same way about him? He was the same guy, but he looked like Quasimodo and rang the bell.
Oh, no. So, no, I don't think. Oh, hell no. But I think maybe to someone, let's say we're on a. Gosh, this is such a extreme case. But let's say we're a. No, I wouldn't be able to do it. If we're on like a deserted island.
Because he did get a girl in the second one. Quasimodo got a girl in the second one. So somebody loved him.
That's a great point. But I think too, even with looks, that's still a choice. There's different things because I think some people have way too high expectations and standards but I think looks do matter more or hold more weight for men than women, but that doesn't mean I definitely think they still matter. And like someone put in the chat, even though I think he's been trolling earlier, but he says evolutionary, which it is, at least from a physical standpoint. But as humans are evolving, who knows? There's different, especially with medical advancements. But I do not think, again, I just don't think that men are going to choose a genius who. Has anyone seen Big Bang Theory? That looks like not Leonard's. Whatever, I forget. Sheldon, yes. Over, and I'm not saying she's dumb as hell or, but what?
You're going to say Kim Kardashian?
Oh, yeah.
I was just wondering, everyone on the panel, if your significant other gained 500 pounds, would you stay with him?
Wait, can I answer right quick? I think because I want to. No, because wait, what do you mean? Like we're married or we're like
you're married, and they decided that food was their new love life. That is their love language.
He's gonna suffer because he's not gonna crush me in the bedroom, so he ain't getting nothing from me. He ain't getting nothing, and I'm not gonna be doing all the that you're killing yourself at that point. You're literally.
There are those people and they're married and they can't even
what
get
if he was
up
a
to
big
a
guy
good food.
that had moves?
Yeah. Ew.
Like
500 pounds.
500-pound people. 500-pound people cannot even get out of bed
They
anymore.
can't
Yes.
get out of bed.
So
Like I'm literally have to wipe
I mean,
you down and
it's
like bathe you. You probably
it's
can
not
tell.
something that you can just get out of nowhere. So you will see it gradually. So you kind of let
Yeah.
it happen. So
Yeah, and you
it's kinda
start
my
bringing
fault
the
at this
food.
point. But
Nope.
no,
It's the character and discipline that is most unattractive to me.
So, man or woman, you would divorce them, or would you hire like
but I wouldn't
Tybo
let it get
or-
to that point. Like
I just wouldn't let it happen.
get
Like
to
I
500
personally
pounds.
wouldn't let it happen. That's what I'm saying.
wouldn't
Like
let him-
it doesn't happen overnight. Getting 500 pounds is impossible to get overnight. Or like
once he hit that 300, baby, we're gonna have to sit down and talk and be like,
Yeah.
not even when you get close to 300, like we gonna have to sit
300,
down and-
not even 200.
not even. Well, no, I like 200 now. Like
200 can look good on us, like depending on your height. 200.
My husband's 200.
I'm
I
over
believe
200
that. I
pounds.
believe
I'm
that.
overweight.
I believe
but
that
am I that
because
bad?
I've seen a lot of Black women and they're big, and that's something that and not big like I'm saying tall, and
Yeah,
and
depending on your
that's something
height.
that caught my attention. I'm gonna mention that right now. It makes sense of why Black women ask for tall men, because we usually go for taller than us. And I saw in a statistic that says that Black women are the only race that surpass the average height compared to men within the same race. So Black
There's
women
more
are taller
taller
than
Black
Black
men.
men.
Yeah,
Right.
there's more
Black women
taller
are
Black
taller
men
than
too.
Black men. I think so. I'm not quite sure how true
There's
that
more
is.
taller Black women than Black men.
No, there's
Yeah.
more taller. Wait, are there?
I never knew
think
that.
there was a stats that said, but I don't
I
know.
didn't
I don't
know that.
remember where it is.
She's probably right. I don't know.
But it
You
makes
should do
sense even
research,
for
but
the Asian.
I'm gonna tell you what I asked someone local from here. I personally asked out of curiosity. I was like, would you be with that woman, because she was beautiful, but she was really tall. And he's like, I can't handle that. Like, she was beautiful, like like a Barbie. But she
How
was
tall
really
is he?
No, he was average in my country. Like, they're gonna be short. But of course, a shorter man felt that way, and I was like, okay, so that makes sense why some men may feel in a certain way when a tall woman, and why Black women ask for taller men. But that was just parentheses.
Can
But,
I just add to? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say, guys, I gotta roll out. I'm about to go cry because of my channel being taken away.
All
I
right,
know I'm not. I'm about to just chill for the rest of the night, guys. Have a good one. All right, guys.
Bye. I was gonna piggyback off of Coach K, because, and this may like be a little, I don't know if it's vain or controversial, but like, I think looks do matter. I think they're very, very important for women as well, because me personally, the world doesn't have to find you attractive. I just have to find you attractive. Like, I need to find you attractive, because I tried I tried to date a guy that I was not attracted to at all. And it's like every little thing he did irritated my soul. Like, I was like, ugh, why didn't you do this? Like, if I was attracted to him, I think I would have gave him like a more of a pass for certain things. But everything he did irritated me. And like, I complained, and I was like finding myself being mean. Like, I was like, oh, what's wrong with me? Why am I being so mean? But he was so irritating, because like nothing was like cute about it. Like, when he would do certain things, it's like, no. And I don't know if that's vain. I just did not find him attractive, so I couldn't do it. Like,
that's not shallow. That's human. Now we're going to break this down into some philosophical shit. Human beings are naturally drawn to what we find attractive. We make art out of sunsets, beautiful women. We make progressions towards architecture, towards what we find attractive. There is no reason in a romantic relationship for you not to have physical attraction to be one of the fucking standards. Do never feel bad about that. You should find the person that you're romantically interested in to be attractive. You can be friends with the ugliest motherfuckers on the planet, because who cares? But once we get into sexual attraction, it is perfectly human to draw yourself to what you find attractive. And you are absolutely right, Taylor. You would have given a hot guy more leeway than a fat, ugly guy. And you know what? You should. Now, there are some women that find fat, ugly guys, in our opinion, to be very attractive. And so they'll give him more leeway, right? I like a fluffy man, whatever you want to say. Some girls will never date a guy with a shaved head. I have to deal with that. I don't judge them poorly. It's what they like. There's nothing wrong with them not wanting to date a guy who has to shave his head. I don't think of you less as a person or you should like me because who gives a fuck you. No. When it comes to respect as a friendship or professional relationship, you're correct. Looks should have no matter. Who cares if you're 500 pounds? If you're Stephen Hawking had a fucking 3 wives, for Christ's sake. And the guy's in a wheelchair like this. Okay? As far as that's concerned, good for you. But for any of you who are like, if I lose physical attraction to my spouse, is that a reason to not be with them? Never feel guilty. Physical attraction, romantic relationships are a big part of that is physical attraction. There's nothing wrong with that having it being a component. Now, you cannot have a work colleague who's Stephen Hawking and not giving them respect because it's not that part of the deal. Fuck their looks. It's what's in your brain. Can you describe black holes to me properly? Stephen Hawking can. Okay. But when it comes to romance, when it comes
So you
to
think his wife worked with him because of they love him?
They did. They were wonderful people. Good for them. But I'm betting you some part of them, because his intellect turned them on so much, still found him attractive.
I mean, they didn't have to have nothing with him, so it's easy to say, "Oh, his intellect is what attracts me."
Some people are that
It
way.
could be the money. The money. They could have been there for the money.
It's the money.
It could have been the money. Whatever makes
It definitely was the money.
Okay, well, whatever works. As far as sex and marriage, and I want to be with you physically, and you can. If I have friends, well, not anymore, but who wouldn't date a girl if she had too big of feet. The guy had small feet, so he wouldn't date a girl. She could be a 10, but her feet were larger than him. Motherfucker only had a size 7, so. But he wouldn't date her, right? I don't give a shit if your feet are like Sasquatch. That's just me. But for the people that did give a shit, God bless you. Live your life, okay?
Oh.
In society, in professional existence, as far as us interacting with other human beings, is how worthy of you are you a human being to interact with the rest of us? No, looks don't matter. But as far as a romantic relationship, yes, they fucking do, and never feel guilty about having that be a component of your qualifications for a romantic relationship.
I will share, though, somewhere that I worked, we had, I'm not even going to say what position or anything like that, but he was very large. And I swear, when I would host with him, the tips were not as good. I swear.
That's true.
They were, and he was very, very large and did not smell great either. And obviously, I'm not saying no one, and it's a restaurant. I don't think anyone should discriminate. You can't discriminate, obviously. It's a law, and that's immoral as hell. But another question though, Raul, do wrinkles or gray hairs fall under looks being a worthy reason to leave a marriage?
No, I've got some gray hairs starting right here. You can see them. As you get older, you're going to grow those. And I've dated women with gray hair, no problem.
But if someone else, I would classify that as looks. Is that a worthy enough reason to leave someone?
No, if we get to the point to where we're growing gray hairs together,
they're not attracted to them.
Oh, as far as a work thing? No.
No, marriage.
Well, if I'm married, I'm going to be attracted to you.
But let's say you're not anymore because they have wrinkles, or they don't like their gray hair, or they're saggy boots.
It's different because you're growing old together. It's not like you're marrying an old person and you're young.
Oh no, I agree. I'm just trying to catch him.
No, I'm not going to hook up with some 75-year-old chick unless she's rich and going to die in 3 years. In which case, call me.
Oh my God.
Yes,
but as far as you and I getting married, I've got a couple. You know, if she's got a couple, okay, who gives a shit? Gray hairs don't turn me off. I've got some laugh lines. You can see them. It's part of getting older. I'm getting older. Of course, I'm not going to discriminate with someone who is the same level I am. Of course not. That would be some shallow fucking bullshit. Now, once again, are there some shallow fucking bullshit members of our species? Of course there are. Lower level, most of us, you know what I mean? No, gray hair and wrinkles will not turn me off if I find you attractive in other ways. That's I can answer your question.
I agree.
Are you doing a blowjob from above? What are you doing up here? Kelly, what's going on?
I was saying, yeah, Raul Duke is in. Read the chat.
Yeah,
now. Dirty mind, and you only saw one hand going like this, and you open your mouth. You're like, I took it the wrong way. I apologize.
I'm about to time you out.
Where your mind was at.
I'm taking your chat now. You're no longer a real man. You're gross. So I have one final question. Unless anyone else has anything else to chime in on that last one.
Yeah, I'll just make it quick. Raul, I'm coming for you. You're really simping and white knighting for these women. You said if a man wants like a skinny woman, he's no good and he's this and that. And when it comes to women having standards, I mean, whose side are you on? And not respectfully, of course. But I
think you heard my sentence wrong. That's not what I said.
That's possible. Okay, sorry. Let's move on.
That is what the chat was saying that though too. So if you want to clarify,
it sounds like you're making excuses for the ladies just to simp for all the fans, so you can get you some side pieces. And then you're talking bad about the men. You're white knighting and simping.
No,
you're fake. You're fake, and you're doing it just to get some action. And I see your game.
No, the only girls I want to hit on here are Coach K, but she just got married, so fuck it. You know. Sierra's been married forever, and Kelly's in a long-term relationship. I haven't met Taylor yet, but how you doing?
Yeah, but you might get some random, comments, some fans.
No, I don't read
watching.
I'm not a YouTube guy.
Some sliding into the DMs is
no. I apologize.
You're doing,
he doesn't even have. Oh. No, this is how he is in real life.
You're just a pure simp. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
No, he's not.
You're a simp in the purest form. You're like
no, he's a realist, and he has very balanced views, which is why I like him. He sees the world for what it really is.
Everything I said about women, like as far as my personal view towards women, just flip it if you're a woman hearing my voices and pertain it towards men. I'm explaining this from a heterosexual male standpoint, which means I date women, right? So if you're a gay dude, just flip it to where it's about other dudes. If you're a heterosexual female, just flip it to where you're talking about heterosexual males. I apologize if I came across that way. No, I don't think women are
things wrong.
I think that women have the same thing we do. If you're a girl and you don't like this fat bastard, don't date him. If you're a guy and you don't like this fat bitch, don't fucking date her.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. I heard it wrong.
Human beings. Who gives a shit what gender
I am the same way. I am the same way than Raul. I'm very neutral. So it's like, if you want respect, I want you to respect me. But I am definitely going to respect you first, because by respecting you is how I'm going to earn your respect. Because you're never going to earn somebody's respect by disrespecting them. So, it's just logic. But there's a lot of people that always take it personally or one side because they are biased. They're always just fighting or talking for men or just for women. A lot of people think that I agree with men. I don't agree with men. I just respect their opinion. That's different. And I don't have to disrespect them to not agree with them. You know? But I also understand women for where they're coming from. But just because I understand where they're coming from, I don't justify their behaviors, which is different. So that's simple.
See? I'm not saying that women are better than us. Some of them are fucking bitches. Fuck them. The same way you girls should be like some guys are assholes. Fuck them. Yeah. Whenever I explain things, I'm going to explain it from my point of view. You're going to need to be intelligent enough to switch it if you're not the same sexual orientation I am or the same gender I am. You're going to have to do that on your own. But as far as my opinion goes, all humans are the same. Gender, sexuality, doesn't fucking matter. We're all in the same fucking wild game together. I'm simply expressing it from my point of view. I apologize if I don't spend another 10 minutes expressing it from this one, this one, this one. No, come on, goddammit. Do it yourself. Your own work.
I have a question, Raul Duke.
Simp.
Someone in the chat said, "Are you shallow if you're old and you don't like older women? You like younger women. Does that make you shallow?"
I don't want to go first.
No.
That was someone's question in the chat. They said, "If you're an old man but you don't like," yeah.
I would say yes, because my belief is if you're doing this shit, you can't look at other people bad for doing the same shit you're doing, right? So if I'm old and I look at somebody bad for being old, I'm a shallow son of a bitch, right? Because it's like, it'd be like if I'm a thief and I look bad at other thieves. Well, you're a fucking thief. Just own up to it, right? And so I would say yes. I think you have to. You cannot. A lot of you motherfuckers are fucked up in the head to where you think you're the star of the movie and everything's about you and nobody else has to be judged on the same methods in which you judge yourself. That's incorrect. However you judge yourself is how you have to judge other people. You don't get a fucking special pass because you're you. Because your parents told you were special or whatever. Or you're just a narcissist or your head's fucked up. So if you're old, yes, you have to accept other old people. Otherwise, there's some fucked up shit there. Otherwise, there's some I don't care about my. There's a lot of weird shit going on there. So no matter what you are, if you're a murderer, you can't be like, I won't date other murderers. No, you're an ass. You got to work it out.
You've never seen the show You then?
I watched a little bit of it. I dated a girl that liked it, and I watched the first season, but it was boring. I'm sorry, I didn't like it.
What?
I thought You was boring. He was a creep. He was a fucking stalker, and you guys are like, women like a lot of stalking shit. Like you guys.
I liked him in Gossip Girl, so it ruined it.
Yeah, but he killed because he loved them so much.
Oh my god!
And he wanted to protect them. He wanted to protect them from themselves, and the people around them, around her.
But the first season, for example, though, I remember the girl was like changing in front of the window. Like, what are you doing? I don't feel bad for you now. I know it's a show, but still.
She was also masturbating in front of the window too.
See.
Because I was like,
talking about the show?
Yeah, the show. She was masturbating.
What's it called? You on Netflix?
You've never seen You? He's like, I'm gonna watch that tonight.
He's gonna fast forward to the episode that part.
Episode 6.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Give me a timestamp.
It doesn't. You don't see the image, so you don't see what he's like, but implies that that's what he's doing.
But it's on Netflix. Is it TV worth watching?
It is on Netflix.
Let's check it out.
He's like, I know what I'm doing tonight.
Oh, it's a lot of sex in that show. So, a lot.
There is.
Thanks for the warning.
A lot of killing too. A lot of people die. A lot.
Oh yeah, that too.
Are you into season 4 yet? Or season 3?
It got a little boring. I think part 2 came out, and I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it either. But so I know I said I wouldn't go long. I'm gonna end it. I just have one final question. And you guys, whoever wants to answer it can. I'm sorry, people get into it and they start talking, and I don't want to be like, stop talking, we're done.
I'm still here.
I appreciate it. Roll dude. So my last question is thank you. I appreciate it. I'll give you a kiss on the cheek later, okay? See, we're PG in front of you guys. So my question is, we're talking about for better, for worse. But my question is, how much is too much? How much must you endure before you arrive at the for worse part? Because there's that term, a ride or die. Is it possible that it's too much at some point and you need to walk away?
Yes. When it gets to the point where your mental health, where you're about to snap, because I'm a journalist for those who don't know. So I work in news every day. And the amount of stories I have to write about murder suicides or the wife, like it was a story, two stories in a week where the husband was shot because the wife and the husband were fighting over a gun, and it discharged and it shot and killed the husband. Then there was another one in San Antonio where the wife or girlfriend, they both had a child together and they were also fighting over her gun, and it discharged and it shot her and the baby died and she survived. So like y'all, when I tell y'all I see the most craziest stories with relationships every day or children being whatever. So I think when it gets to that point, because a lot of people just snap. A lot of people can't, they just snap. And or it comes to a point where it's unsafe to be with that person. And that's when you need to walk away, because somebody can get hurt or somebody can get killed. So if you're in a situation to where it gets to that point, it's time to walk away, because I think your worth is already up where you're about to go into something where you can't return.
Yes.
That sounds great, B. Taylor. Absolutely.
I agree. Anybody else want to chime in? That's a great story, by the way.
That's just tragic, man. The world is just so much evil. But I will say, I mean, some of this, I factored in, but people change, things happen. I would hope that we would utilize resources, access help. For example, like that we said, the drunk driving. If this person continued to do it, that is too much. You're risking possibly my life. Well, I would never get in the car with you, but other people's lives. And no, that is an absolutely not. Again, people out there, if you do it, don't think that it won't happen to you. And think about, someone else's family or your family member. But anyway, worst fear. But I don't know. Mentally and emotionally, it just depends. Like if they're just mean and things like that. But again, I would try to seek help. I would try to do whatever it takes before that point. Or let's say they're spending all our money, because then
that's a good one.
that would affect. But again, I would try to get help, whatever it is. I mean, my husband married a coach, so I mean, he's gonna be coached a lot. Well, I try not to, but yeah, I can't help it though. Like a lot of it's how my brain ticks at this point. My twin will be like, "Don't coach me." I'm like, "I'm not." It's just how I'm like thinking about it. So I don't know. I don't have an answer besides like the abuse or like criminal activity that's violent. So
I actually agree with Coach K. Where point is like when things had got to a really bad situation, is because nobody, and I'm saying there's two parties involved, and nobody stopped to say, you know what, we need help, or you know what, this has to stop. You just let it happen, hoping that the person will change. And there are things that you kind of have to, think and seek for help outside, like professional help. You know, I would say that's the perfect example. Someone that drinks or when they're gambling and just things like that. Those are the things that are under your control. Things that you can still look for help. There are things that are out of control, like health issues. Like if someone gets sick and stuff like that, that's something you can avoid. But there are things that you can actually go through, some type of coaching or therapy or something, and help your partner and be there for them and support them. And to a point, I'm gonna share a brief story. I think I mentioned in this channel or another one. I was engaged with someone like 12 years ago, and I was very young, but he actually started doing drugs, and I didn't know. I was very young and naive, and I was very innocent to at some point, because when I found it was, to me, it was a glass. Okay, so I just pulled some like fabric, something that I was looking for, and something broke. When I look at it, it looked like a light bulb, And I'm like, what is this? So I gathered the pieces because I didn't know what it was. I took a picture and I sent it to him. And I'm like, what is this? And then when he came home, he's all like agitated, like, she found it. And I'm like, I don't even know what it is. So I showed, but I didn't tell him that I kind of find it suspicious. I just talked to somebody else and asked, what is this? Why was he like that? And they told me that it was something to do meth. I didn't even know what that was. I had to go online and do a whole research about it. And I was like, so that's why he's not eating, because I noticed that he was not eating normally. I noticed that he was, just going away. He was staying with his friends more often. And I'm like, why is this happening? So, I was trying to tell him, hey, what's going on? Talk to me, like you're drinking too much or too often. So what's going on? But he was just not telling me. And he would stay awake until like very late at night, not doing anything, just awake because he couldn't sleep. But again, I've never had an experience. I've never done drugs in my life. So I had no idea what I was, going into. And there was something in my mind that said, you're too young to deal with this, Ida. And there was something that said, this is what marriage is supposed to be. You be there for them, you support them, you help them. So I told his parents, I'm like, I need your help because I don't know what this is. Like I have no idea. But I was ashamed to tell my family. I really didn't want to get my family involved. But I thought that his family knew. But to make it shorter, I pretty much said, you know what, I'm just gonna leave, and I left. I left him. I couldn't deal with it. For a few years, I felt guilty for not helping him, for not going through with it, and like not supporting him. That's the way it is. At some point, I thought like, hey, if he was my husband, I should have been there for him, and I should have found help for him, because those things are under your control. You can still do something for them, but I feel like I didn't do enough. Just wanted to share.
Yeah, it's hard to change an addict. So I'm glad you left because it wasn't a situation where y'all were married but he's probably always been an addict for a while. So that's something you can't change. People like that, they can't change. It's hard. It takes a lot. Yeah.
He actually passed away.
Oh my goodness.
It was hard. It was very hard. He was going through, to his friends, he was changing his behavior totally. Like he went from being one person to being someone else that I didn't know. And that's something you can't predict. Like we saying, nothing is guaranteed. That person loved me. And to be honest, till today, I can say that man, he was such a gentleman. I feel like at some point he was the man that loved me the most. Like he was one person, but then unrecognizable the next day. Like in a couple of weeks, he was.
You have to be strong enough to make those decisions.
Yeah, no, I had to. I was like, no, I can't deal with it because I just mentally I couldn't, and emotionally I wasn't there. But then I found out when he died, I was like blaming myself. And that was a couple of years later. I was like, man, I should probably, if I wouldn't stay with him, he would still be here and things like that. But then his mother told me no, he was grown enough to understand and make sure that it was his decisions, so she helped me actually to understand that it wasn't my fault. But again, it's like, I'm just trying to share this just to make sure that you understand that there are things that are under your control, that you can help somebody and find help and seek for help on time. But then when you don't do it, it's going to get to the point that there's no way back.
Good. Thank you, Sarah. It
is.
Did anyone else have anything they wanted to add before we wrap on this final topic?
I want to get back to the important part of the conversation.
Flatulence.
Don't do it.
I knew it.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll send you a literature review.
I don't want any literature about farting, please.
No, about how bad it is for you.
I'm nervous, but I'll read it anyways.
Stay tuned.
Well, thank you everyone for joining. I'm so sorry. I know I said we were gonna go short today, but
It was fun.
It
Thank
was
you so
fun.
much.
I enjoyed this.
Yes,
I
we got
had a
to
great
talk
time.
about, you know.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Right, nice meeting some of you new people. Lapeef,
Yeah.
never met you before, but I'm glad you showed up. Taylor, good meeting
I
you.
wish
And all
my
the
brother-
rest of the guys I've seen before, I appreciate being with you tonight.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining this evening. Raul Duke, you are definitely a crowd pleaser. Everyone loves you.
Yeah.
But everyone,
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you for-
Thank you.
thank you for everyone joining and thank you for watching
Good night.
and staying with us. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.
All right. Appreciate you having me.
Bye.
Oh, be sure to like and subscribe. I always forget to say that. But please hit that button. Have a good night.
All right.